Hello, I'm Matt Clydesdale with the McGuire Agency. And today I'm with my colleague Andy Myers from our personal lines team. We're going to talk a little bit about some hot topics in the personal lines, homeowners, and auto area. Andy, why don't you share a couple of your insights of things that are going on lately?
Yeah, what we've been seeing lately that we want to make sure people are covered for is under coverage or things that they are not covered for with some common losses with homeowners and auto.
Can you give me a couple of examples?
Yeah, with homeowners, one of the most common losses we've seen that non-weather related is actually water damage, even more so than fire. And we want to make sure you're covered not only for water, say a broken pipe, but if there's water coming from underneath the home or from outside of the home.
So you're seeing this is pretty frequently. Interior water damage is what we're talking about?
Yeah, correct. Say a sewer backup, a sub pump failure, or broken utility line. A lot of those are either not covered or excluded from your common homeowners policies. So we want to make sure you're covered by either adding an endorsement or upping your limits.
I've been through the sump pump loss. It's just very disruptive to your household, I can tell you that. And just going through it, they cut out part of your drywall to dry it out and take off your molding, and I remember them throwing out the carpeting pad, and I forget what it run, but you have any idea what these things are typically costing?
Yeah, that average with these sub pump failures and sewer backup would be $16,000. And if you're not covered, that's going to be out of your pocket. And even with sometimes you have a low limit, and that doesn't cover that.
Right, we've talked about that insurance companies put caps or sub-limits, as they call them, on backup of water. What typically are those caps, and what can someone do about it?
With your basic homeowners policy, that it would be actually excluded, and then sometimes you'll see minimum of about maybe a $5,000 cap or $10,000, but we want to make sure you have a adequate limit to cover for your loss.
So it seems to me that's something we could control ourselves with a little extra time, knowing that average loss is $16,000 and most policies are sub-limited or capped below that. So
exactly.
That's a little bit of a concern there.
Control what you can control. That's what we like to say.
I like that. You mentioned auto, personal auto. What's going on in that area that you can help us out with?
Yeah, autos, it's almost something similar where we want to make sure you're covered with anything that can happen out on the road. And then we have an underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage. They say over 1 out of 10 cars on the road do not have auto insurance in Minnesota.
So you're telling me I'm driving to the ball game when we used to be able to go to ball games?
Right.
If I drive by 10 cars, one of them doesn't have insurance?
That's what statistics are showing. It's hard to believe it as it is.
How can I tell which one that is, Andy?
That's why you gotta protect yourself, Matt, and control what you can control. And even you gotta account for the people without insurance. And then with tougher times, some people are just letting their insurance lapse, or they're just going for the minimum coverage amount. And then that can create an issue as well.
So you're saying we have a solution where to use your words, we can control and have uninsured and underinsured coverage on our own policies.
Exactly. We'll get the underinsured and uninsured coverage up to your personal liability limits, and they'll cover you and your family just in case there was a loss that happened with someone that didn't have insurance. You'd be able to cover yourself.
And this is easier than me driving down the road with a sign asking people which one that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So control what I can control.
Exactly.
I like that. So, I'm sure people are thinking that, are these expensive things to do to enhance your policies both on the homeowner side and the personal auto side?
They really aren't. For the benefit outweighs the cost dramatically, as you can tell by talking about some of these loss amounts and the limits are, but they're a very reasonable cost, and I think everyone thinks the same once they see what they can get out of it.
Oh, it Seems to me you get sort of an off-the-shelf solution from an insurance company initially, and we need to take a look to enhance them in both your two suggestions, the water area for homes and uninsured for autos. So
Exactly.
sounds like the old, my father would say, penny wise, pound foolish.
Yep.
Right? All right.
Yeah, we want to make sure you're covered.
Well, these are two great tips. They seem like pertinent topics too, with obviously we've seen the water issues that have happened around the country from freezing, and as well as, you know, when times are tough, I imagine it's probably one of the first things people skimp on is that auto insurance, and that could affect me if I become involved in an accident with someone that's made that decision. So
Exactly.
well, great for solving my problems. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Matt. That's what we're here for.
All right.